everybody, and welcome to this special on the full sturgeon moon that happens on the 19th of August in the 4th Sabian degree of Aquarius, which has the Sabian symbology of a Hindu healer. So yeah, this full sturgeon moon, there's a lot going on. We have a T-square, we also have the yard, so I'm calling this sort of like the yard sturgeon moon, and I'm going to go in depth about how this yard really can be tuned into and help us utilise this powerful energy of this full sturgeon moon in Aquarius. So yeah, anyway, I'm Amani, and in the context of these weekly scopes, I'm your holistic karmic astrologer. I look at things from all sort of angles. I also use my intuition as well to serve you these astrological insights. So yeah, in astrology, Aquarius is associated with innovation, originality, and being charitable, doing things that are sort of like humanitarian. And the full moon energy in Aquarius amplifies, increases these traits, supporting us to be authentic, to be more individual, and to think outside of the box. We can feel inspired to go after what we really want and contribute to sort of like social causes, be more detached, but also in a way that allows us to focus on what needs to be done and engage in activities that benefit our community, our family, ourselves. Our focus can kind of change towards connecting with people who think like us, who share our ideals and visions for a better future, or just are more in alignment with our lifestyle and what we really want to do with our lives right now. It doesn't have to be as deep as someone who can live my ideals, but yeah, you get the picture. Also, in general, this full moon can bring about sudden revelations and unexpected events that push you to reassess your goals and values. It wants you to embrace change and be open to new perspectives. On a personal level, you can feel a stronger desire for independence and freedom, wanting to break free from any restrictions that hold you back. And this can just lead you on a period of self-discovery where you embrace who you are, your quirks, your shadow, your weaknesses, your strengths, your whole total individuality wholeheartedly. The full sturgeon moon is called so, the August moon, because Native American tribes in the northern and eastern United States associated this time of year with the abundance of the sturgeon fish in the Great Lakes and surrounding areas. It's also, connected to nature and the changing of seasons, because the next full moon we're going into fall, after the sort of like autumn equinox on the 20th or 21st of September. So positively, the full sturgeon moon energy can be used to set clear intentions, gain clarity on goals, and increase intuition. This is a time for spiritual growth, self-discovery, and you may find that your creativity is increased at this time, making it good for problem solving and just tapping into looking at your problems in a detached way. So, taking an impersonal look at your life and thinking about, what is it I need to let go of, because full moon energy is all about the things we need to let go of, and reflecting on what we need to do more of and stuff like that. So negatively, the sturgeon moon can just make us more emotionally intense, make us more sensitive and more restless, but it's in Aquarius, so we're being supported to be more detached, but it is also, really important to take time out, think before you react and speak, practice self-care, mindfulness, read the room, do all you can to avoid burnout and becoming overwhelmed and excessively reacted to situations on your own thoughts right now. And some people may experience vivid dreams and deep emotions, and this can be challenging and enlightening. So, this full sturgeon moon is maybe a time for you to reflect on the previous 8 months. Got 4 months left. we've all made those long New Year's sort of like lists of things to change. You may not have done it. You may think, I'm just going to give up for the rest of the year. How about just taking one thing off that list, committing to doing it, whether it's for 1 minute, 2 minutes, an hour a day, and just that one thing. Forget the others, just that one thing. Do that for 30 days. The 30 days after that, look at another thing off that list and build it slowly. Every month, this is the new moon, and the full moon represents that every month we are given opportunities to start things new and to let go of old habits and thoughts. We don't have to wait for a new decade or a new year, and this full sturgeon moon reminds us of this. So the key word for the full sturgeon moon are healing and spirituality. We can feel more compelled to explore our inner selves and to confront any lingering emotional, psychological and spiritual wounds, and we've all got them. It's a time to seek guidance from within and a higher power than yourself, and connect to your spiritual side to achieve a sense of peace and balance in your life. And remember, it's a journey, it's not a destination, and at first you'll want to do it perfect and you may see it as a destination, but as you day by day start or continue your journey of lifelong psychological, emotional, spiritual management, you will see that it's best to view it as a journey. And this influence of Aquarius at the time of this full moon allows us to be detached from the outcome, to have a sense of community and unity with others and within ourselves, and wants us to work with our different personality traits, or for some of you, different people, to work towards common goals and support other people or the different sides of your personality traits on their healing journeys. Because we have this side of us maybe that's sly and childlike, and then we have sides of us that may be heavy and dark and emotional, unforgiving, not because it's truly unforgiving or resentful, but because you still need to deal with that unresolved emotional, psychological and spiritual trauma. So it's about being gentle with yourself, being reasonable, seeking out tools, and being really, really honest. Like, we're all kind of messed up, and this is how I see the world now, and it's not a bad thing. It just means that it's good, because we all just need to do the work, and getting us to do the work can be hard, but if we all work on ourselves and support those who can't, whether it's through a cognitive or any other impairment, this is how I believe we can make the world a better place. So practically it wants us to engage in meditation, yoga or energy healing, and just anything else, research and tools that can help you align and open up to the healing energies of the universe. It's beneficial to surround yourself with positive and supportive individuals if you can, or tools, content creators that can help you right now as you're open to letting go and being honest about what you need to make 2024 the best year ever, by, as I said earlier, committing to change and breaking it down small. We fail a lot of times, and I've done a lot of listening of all types of people across all walks of life, and it's consistency. This is what I'm focusing on right now in my life. I've proven to myself I can do the burnout, work for the 3 months and 2 months and then have extended periods and all the rest of it, Consistency, doing the small things repeatedly, the boring stuff day in, day out. This is how we build up our success, and it's kind of like compound interest, how our money can grow if you put them in stocks and shares or in the bank. We make one habit for 30 days, do that for a year, and we should do 12, but just even if we did 7 in 1 year, 5, if we look at it in compound interest, by year 2 we'll be doing 10 new habits. Look at it by compound interest, in 10 years it's like 100, but because we try to start 100 things at one time every new year, this is why we never complete them. So just some food for thought anyway. So on the worldly perspective, it encourages us all to be more innovative and to make progress in the realms of technology and social change. We can just feel more inclined to embrace new technologies and participate in movements for advocating for societal change and equality and stuff like that. It also allows us to think unconventionally and creatively. So a lot of people may come out on the global front and giving, these kind of out of the box innovative alternative solutions to our world problems right now, as it pushes us to think outside of the box, as I said earlier, get involved with our communities, contribute to charitable causes, be more helpful to others in a detached, healthy, non-toxic ways, and just promotes us being more socially justice orientated. So some of you may volunteer for a local charity or something else, get involved in the grassroots movement or start your own, and just do something to support marginalised people or communities. And so financially, it wants us to look at the ways of removing spending habits, saving habits that make us unstable. It wants us to prioritise sensible and careful financial decisions that lay out a foundation for long-term security. It wants us just to be more cautious in our planning, more disciplined in our saving, mindful in our investing, so that we can bring financial stability and sustainability. And I know it's really hard nowadays a lot to build ourselves up in that, but I do believe that we can always be more resourceful with what we have and look at ways of improving our income over time. So just thinking about writing down some intentions on things you feel you can do to improve your financial circumstances, and what one person will be able to do would differ from another, and just being realistic and not being down on yourself and trying to have a what I can do attitude. And I know it can be hard with all the pressure and stress in the world. I'm not saying any of these things that I mention as solutions are ever easy to do, but I am putting them as the best things for us to do as human beings, which is to prepare ourselves for the storms and the good and bad that will come, because life is good and bad. We will not avoid the bad. Even if we avoid people, eventually we'll get sad about the fact that we avoid people, even if we try to avoid heartbreak and stuff. So whenever we're interacting with other people, we always have to kind of prepare ourselves for the inevitabilities that can happen. The good, the love, the affection, the friendship, and the bad, the heartbreak, the deceit, the narcissism, and all the rest of it, the codependency, just so we can always be aware, and so we can train ourselves to have this stable core that can help us navigate our life. So just doing things that we can do to build our resilience and adaptability as economic changes go up and down. How we can looking at ways how you can safeguard your resources, and a lot of the time we don't think our time's a resource. Our energy is our biggest resources. Who's draining your energy in your life? What habits of yours are taking away your time that you can be using to work through your emotional, psychological, spiritual baggage, or having fun, learning new hobbies, just being prudent, not only about your financial management, but your commitment to your overall stability on all levels, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically, and just making sure that there were things that you do, and whether it be your spending and saving habits in particular, are grounded in practical wisdom and responsible decision making. Okay, so in terms of the social impact, as I said, it can make us more empathetic. The Hindu healer symbology signifies, the healing and nurturing energies that are given in abundance at the time of this full sturgeon moon. So the symbology of the Hindu healer, which I'm going to talk a bit more about when I talk about the Sabian symbols that are really affecting us at the time of this full moon. But this symbol brings and reminds us that we need to create more understanding amongst ourselves and other people, and how we understand others is by learning to understand ourselves, building more empathy for others. And we do this by building more empathy for ourselves, being more kind and compassionate for ourselves, supporting ourselves, working with all the different aspects of ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, all the different personality traits, our desires, our needs and our wants, and just looking at how we can become more integrated and whole as individuals. It supports us to sort of have a said commitment to uplifting other people and developing a sense of togetherness that transcends boundaries, religion, skin colour, any other dividing factor, and promotes us being inclusive rather than, sort of like divisive and excluding people. In terms of, what it wants us to know on the personal individual level, it wants us to focus on healing aspects of our own life, especially physically, emotionally and spiritually. Just as a Hindu healer tends to physical ailments and restores balance, you too can work towards restoring harmony within yourselves. So it's a very powerful message, letting us know that we can, sort of like direct our sort of like lives. And I do apologise, I've got a bit of a cold as I record this and I'm trying to manage it, but you may pick up on it. But it's just that I don't want to stop in my flow in terms of it may get worse and then I may not be able to record for a while. So I'm just trying to stay ahead as much as I can. So yeah, so on a psychological level, it wants us to self-reflect, and especially into our emotional and psychological well-being, digging deep into our psyche, uncovering the wounds that need healing, nurturing, as I said before. And as we explore our subconscious thoughts and feelings, we can have significant breakthroughs in terms of our personal growth and self-awareness. So just as the Hindu healer looks beyond the surface to address the root cause of diseases, of our ailments, we have the opportunity to address underlying issues affecting our psychological, emotional and spiritual, and even our physical, even our financial states, So looking at it from a purely esoteric level, it wants us to tap into ancient wisdom and holistic practices that promote healing and aligning with your higher consciousness and a higher power, whatever that is to you, and just becoming more understanding on the esoteric and spiritual level, embracing the energy of the Hindu healer and, creating more balance and unity within by, seeing the interconnectedness between us all. It wants us to, just see, as I said earlier, I believe that all people alive are traumatized in one way or the other. Some of us are more traumatized than others, of course, but this is how we can connect, that we've all been through some kind of tragedy, whether it be a death of a family member, a loss of not having a father figure, mother figure or parental figure. There's so many things, points of contact, what I call them, that we can connect on if we're willing to open and look beyond the surface stuff, whether it be someone's religion, the way they speak, the way they dress and stuff like that as well. So this energy wants us to focus on making connections, what can bring us together rather than what separates us. And on the individual level, it's about, looking at what can bring your strengths and weaknesses together rather than keeping them apart, which all in all kind of pushes us to our self-destructive thought patterns, addictions, ways of relating to ourselves and others, and all the other negative things that we do, because unresolved trauma has to have an outlet somewhere, right? And a lot of the time we do things excessively because we're trying to make ourselves better. This is why we may do drugs and drink and alcohol. So on the esoteric level, we are called to explore different healing techniques and deepen our spiritual practice to attune to higher frequencies slowly but surely, and increase our spiritual well-being by focusing on aligning our spiritual self with our physical and emotional aspects and psychological aspects of ourselves, So, this full sturdy moon is an opportunity for you to reflect on your spiritual path, connect with your inner wisdom and nurture your soul's journey towards wholeness, So, now I'm going to talk about the karma, the karmic lessons and past life memories that may come up. So as I said earlier, this full moon is a time to heal old wounds and resolve past life conflicts, balancing our karmic debts and releasing negative energy that no longer serves our highest purpose. And this can manifest as a sudden realization of patterns of behavior that stem from past life experiences or, unresolved childhood wounds or early adulthood or any other unresolved trauma, and this pushes you to address, confront whatever comes up right now with compassion and understanding, reflecting on your actions and relationships. And this encourages you to embrace forgiveness, both towards others and yourself, and letting go of resentment and blame and, feeling like a failure and giving up on yourself and feeling like you can never be who you truly want to be, allowing for more spiritual growth and transformation. So ultimately it wants us to learn from our past mistakes, acknowledge them, forgiving ourselves for them, not beating yourself up. You can't change the past, you can only learn from it and create a better future by, choosing better thoughts, actions and relationships and ways of relating to yourself and others in general. In terms of past life memories that may come up, we may find ourselves, drawn to certain cultures or practices in our dreams or by our research or just by souls we catch online or podcasts and stuff like that. We may have a feeling, lifetimes where you may have been some sort of healer or spiritual guide. Dreams can be really vivid and detailed right now, sort of like providing you with clues to unresolved issues that are in your life right now, or from your past lives, even giving you insights into your relationships, just any important information that you need to be aware of right now. So this is the time for deep self-reflection and inner work, and as you uncover hidden aspects of yourself that are ready to be healed and transformed, just be gentle, as I keep on saying, because you may take the harsh route, and by tapping into the wisdom and compassion of the Hindu healer archetype, we can find kind of like peace in ancient healing practices or philosophies that resonate with your soul's journey, allowing yourself to be guided by the full sturgeon moon's illuminating light can shed clarity on past wounds and karmic patterns that are seeking resolution. And by embracing forgiveness and self-love, you can make way for healing, liberation and breaking free from your past, and just allow yourself to dig into your depths, and remember that forgiveness is not just a gift to others but a powerful tool for your own growth and evolution, and it really, really is, especially self-forgiveness, and this is what this moon really wants you to do, look at the ways that you can love on yourself better and forgive yourself, and by extending compassion towards those who have wronged you, as well as forgiving you, especially for your own perceived shortcomings, you open up a space for healing and transformation to take place, and you just start looking at life and things in a different way, and or start or continue the work to do so. So now I'm just going to talk about the aspects that happen and the saving degrees and all of that good stuff as we start to get into the deeper meanings and the intricacies of this full sturgeon moon. So the first aspect influencing is the moon's opposition to Mercury, and this is separating at a 1.14 orb, so not as strong as applying, but it can make us more emotional in our communication, and it can add to the misunderstandings and disagreements that can come up over the next month while this full moon is still influencing us, because full moon energy works from full moon to full moon. The sun's conjunction to Mercury helps us to be more effective and intellectual with our communication, so straight away counteracting that energy. And the sun's conjunction to Mercury is also 1.14 degrees separating as well. The sun also makes quintile to Jupiter, so this just allows us to grow and expand, and this is what this full moon wants us to do. So it just supports us in having those opportunities for personal development, spiritual growth, and improving our educational levels, our skills, or any other form of self-improvement. The moon also makes a square to Uranus, and it's also separating at a 0.4 orb. So, this adds sudden changes and disruptions that can unsettle our emotions and routines at this time. So, its unpredictable energy being amplified again. So it's crucial to stay flexible and open to unexpected developments that can come up. And the Sun square to Uranus and the Sun's quincunx to Neptune adds to this tension, confusion and transformation opportunities. So this is really good. Yes, it makes us more confused and brings more tension, but also gives us plenty opportunity to look for solutions and to change what needs to be changing. And so the best thing we can do is just to be aware and mindful of the unpredictable energies that cause the confusion and add to the tension, so that we don't cloud our judgment or add to the power struggles that can come up right now as well. And the Sun's trying to Chiron allows us to heal, be open, be more vulnerable and gain insights from our vulnerabilities right now as well. So remember to approach disagreements with more patience, understanding, and just be more effective in your communication, and be open to the new possibilities that the Sun's quintile Jupiter brings to us. And despite the challenges that the Moon square to Uranus can bring at the time of this full sturgeon moon, if we remain resilient and flexible, we can navigate through this energy. And just remember, by delving into your emotions and being open to experience, seeing the tension that may come up within yourself or in relationships right now, you can gain valuable insights into your own vulnerabilities and also, sort of like heal, old wounds, and this is what we really, really need. Also, there's a T-square that happens. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what a T-square is in astrology and the positives and negatives of a transiting T-square. So a T-square in astrology is when 3 or more planets. Normally some people count points. I will only count a point such as the Moon's North Node if it was like conjunct a planet like Venus at the same degree, something like that in a T-square. I wouldn't necessarily include it on its own. So yeah, a T-square is when 3 or more planets form a right-angled triangle in the transit chart, and this configuration involves 2 planets being involved each other, creating tension, and a third planet squares both of the opposing planets, and this is why it's called like a T-square, because it looks like a T. And the positives of a transiting T-square include increased motivation for growth and change, opportunities for self-awareness and transformation, and the potential for breakthroughs in difficult situations. It can act as a catalyst for personal development and push us outside of our comfort zones. Negatively, we can struggle with decision making due to the conflicting energies. We can experience a heightened emotional intensity leading to stress or anxiety and challenges in communication and our relationships. And it can also kind of bring internal conflict to some of us as well, because of the external obstacles that come, or the internal thoughts of unresolved psychological, emotional and spiritual trauma that can come up. And dealing with these issues internally or externally that come up can require patience and resilience to overcome. So yeah, at the time of the full moon, there's a T-square involving the Moon in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus, and the Sun and Mercury in Leo, and it's a 72% orb tightness. There's also another T-square, and this involves Saturn in Aquarius, Mars and Jupiter in Taurus and Venus in Leo, and this has a 43% orb tightness. So the first T-square involving the Moon in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus, and the Sun and Mercury in Leo adds to the intense emotional upheavals and unexpected changes and powerful communication breakthroughs that I talked about earlier. It creates unpredictability and adds to the innovation and new solutions that we can find to the problems in our life. The T-square between Saturn in Aquarius, Mars and Jupiter in Taurus and Venus in Leo brings a different flavour. It shifts our focus towards discipline, ambition and harmony in relationships. Saturn's influence adds a touch of seriousness and structure, and Mars and Jupiter, amplify, increases the energies of growth and understanding and potential. And Venus infuses love and beauty into the mix, so this can increase our social interactions and creativity. So when we look at both these T-squares, the moon is the focal point of both of them. So the moon acts as a channel, the moon in Aquarius, of the device energies released by all the other planetary configurations. So what does this mean? The moon is our mood, so we may, as I said, see a lot of change in moods right now at the time of this full moon. We may experience a lot of intense emotions, as I said, but the Aquarius energy allows us to be detached, and the erratic nature of the first T-square kind of meets the structured influence of the second T-square, and this creates a dynamic tension that challenges us to find a balance between embracing change and upholding stability in our life. So, being stable in the ways that we change, really looking at what needs to be changed and being honest with ourselves. Do we keep throwing good after bad? A lot of us do that. We'd be like, oh, I've had these friends for 10 years, or I've been in this relationship for 20 years, I might as well stay. And I know there's a lot of reasons. I do believe sometimes it's good to stay if you can be reasonable with the other partner, especially when children's involved and all the rest of it. There's a lot of reasons why we do stay in unproductive things, and I know it's not just as easy as get out, I know that, but this energy really wants us to sort of look at the things that need to be transformed in our life, and just being open and letting go of any resistance to change, and welcome more playful solutions and opening up our minds, and just find ways to integrate structure with growth potential and love with creativity, just, as I said, integrating all those different needs of ourselves, all those different personality traits of ourselves as well. Also, at the time of this full Sturgeon moon, as I said in the introduction, there's a powerful yard between the Sun in Leo, Pluto in Capricorn and Neptune in Pisces, with 11% orb tightness, and I'm calling this the Yoddy Sturgeon moon. Do you like that name? If you do or don't, put it in the comments, whatever. So this energy, yards in astrology are rare. Some people have them in their birth charts as well. So it's kind of known in astrology as the finger of God, the energy that's really dynamic and challenging. But if we meet the core of whatever it's telling us to do, if we step up at the time of this full Sturgeon moon, take a detached, objective look at our life, and being willing to start those New Year goals, or to start these things we've been putting off by, as I said, building one habit at a time and just being open to new. So this yard supports us in bringing significant changes and transformations into our life. The Sun in Leo, highlights the theme of creativity and self-expression and leadership, wanting us, urging us to step up in our lives. Pluto in Capricorn provides the grounding, urging us and pushing us to dig deep into our personal power and transformation and be like, hey, this is my life, I am going to make the changes. And Neptune in Pisces, brings us that gentle, nurturing, spiritual energy, also allowing us, 12th house stuff here, to go into our secrets, a secret life, to confront our hidden enemies, which is typically biggest hidden enemies are the toxic thoughts we allow to live in our minds rent free. Sometimes we have whole people and whole scenarios in there living 24/7, going off in different tangents. This is how it used to be in my mind, and it can get like that sometimes. When I don't practice my daily steps, and this is why I do it daily now. It's like my kryptonite not to. How can I explain? so I make sure that I do the things I know that's going to keep me stable on the emotional, psychological and spiritual level. Why do it every day rather than the inconsistent every other day or once in a blue moon? I was sort of like doing it at one stage. It's because life is just so much better. It's so much better to live your authentic life each day and be who you are each day rather than to keep on bending yourself to meet other people's expectations. So this shard wants us to look into the ways that we can grow, and as I said, be more empathetic with ourselves, using our intuition, sort of like looking at the ways how we can have our intuition more effectively, because as I keep on saying, I know when we have fears and unresolved traumas living in our mind, it can be so hard to even hear, that small still voice as well. So it pushes us to confront our illusions, release old patterns that no longer serve us, and embrace our authentic self with more courage and clarity. And it supports us on doing that inner work, that side of work that needs to be, and seeking out the tools and resources that can really help you grow. And, just to dare to trust in the process of growth and evolution, and that if you commit or continue your journey of spiritual growth or, personal development, that you will get there if you're not afraid to confront and change what needs to be confronted and changing. And this shard energy and the T-square and all the other aspects and the Sabian degrees support us on doing that. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the Sabian degrees that happen. As we know, the moon's in the 4th degree of Aquarius, the sun's also in the 4th degree of Leo, and Jupiter's in the 24th degree of Taurus. So yeah, with the moon in the 4th degree of Aquarius, the symbol of the Hindu healer, and it rules, the left fibula in our human body. So yeah, the moon in the 4th degree of Aquarius, as I said, wants us to explore alternative healing methods, and it can just create a sense of community and interconnectedness, and we can just feel more motivated to work towards collective goals and do things that promote social equality, as I said earlier. Negatively can make us too rebellious and radical in our thinking, and this can be outside of our own and other people's comfort zones, and this can get us into more conflict as we can be too pushy. So as I said, it's best to just have these ideas for yourself, share with others, but if they're like, no, don't try and force anyone, lead by example, live your own beliefs, and then maybe people will follow. We can find ourselves questioning authority and feel the strong urge to break free from conforming in societal norms and living up to other people's expectations, but it is essential to channel this energy constructively to avoid conflicts and resistance from others. And how we do that is by respecting other people's boundaries, allowing them to have their say and being respectful, and not being pussy. So yeah, the sun in the 4th degree of Leo adds sort of like a touch of elegance and pride, and it has the Sabian symbolism of a man formally dressed and the deer with its horns sort of like folded. And the 4th degree of Leo rules the left corticoid artery in the human body as well. So yeah, the deer is also hanging on the clubhouse wall, so like the wall of an organisation in the Sabian symbology as well. So it empowers us to be more confident and present ourselves in a more sort of like empowered, this is me sort of way. As I said, while also respecting other people's needs to, want to be themselves as well, and respecting their boundaries. And Jupiter's in the 24th degree of Taurus, and this symbolises strength and authority, and it just adds to us being able to navigate the obstacles that come up with more wisdom and resilience. Neptune in the 6th degree of Pisces pushes us to find inspiration through discipline and organisation, and Chiron's presence in the 30th degree of Pisces, illuminates the importance of embracing and working with our inner wounds and accepting our shadow traits, and using them as a source of strength and wisdom rather than, sort of like allowing them to stop us from growing. growing, encourages us to strive for personal growth and authenticity, and reminds us that in times of illusions and delusions, it's important to do the things that can help us trust in our healing abilities, and to trust in, ourselves, and not so much trust, to seek out mentors and therapy and all the tools that you need to help you stay stable. So these Sabine degrees of Jupiter, Neptune and Chiron remind us of that. And now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the physical and overall health implications and esoteric occult meanings of the Sabine degrees. So the moon, as I said, rules the left fibula in the human body. It's in the 4th degree of Aquarius, so it focuses on us wanting to look after our lower limbs and overall structural stability. So doing wellness practices that look after, your legs, squats, stretches, some yoga maybe, The sun in the 4th degree of Leo calls for us to maintain our circulation, so putting our feet up, rubbing our feet and hands, doing exercises that help our veins and blood and everything pump around our veins. That's what I'm trying to say, especially in relation to your neck. So doing neck exercises that help you repair or maintain the stability of your neck and your shoulders and your back and stuff, and just paying attention to any issues concerning your sort of like bone and spine health and stuff in general. And Jupiter in the 24th degree of Taurus places emphasis on our wisdom teeth, just looking after our dental health. And our wisdom teeth, these come in when we're at different ages, but they're meant to represent us growing into adulthood and being more stable. So it just puts the focus again on gathering, the tools and resources that you need to understand and manage yourself on the psychological, emotional and spiritual levels. And Neptune in the 6th degree of Pisces, ruling the left kobold bone, wants us to look after our feet. So I said earlier, massage them and just becoming more disciplined and organised. Our feet are our grounding when we're walking and stuff, and keeping our balance and stuff. It's just reminding us to do the things that help us achieve balance in our life. Chiron's in the 30th degree of Pisces, and it reminds us again to look after the small details in our plans, and the small daily habits that make up our lives. This is why it's so important to really care about what you think, the people you're around. And this is not to say, I don't want to be around people because of this or that. It's about, if you've got a goal that you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to work 16 hours a day to build that business, and then you also have to take care of your mind and body and soul as well. Then you have to limit the other things that you have in your life as well. So just paying close attention to your routine, the habits in your life and the self-destructive things that you do, and try to limit them. So now I'm just going to finish up with the best things that you can do. So if you're creative, start a new passion project, seek out like-minded people, attend creative workshops. Professionals should use this time to propose innovative solutions during meetings or networking events, and consider attending virtual or in-person conferences and seminars, and doing things to increase your skills and update yourself on the latest trends, especially in your area of expertise or the area you want to be an expert in. Entrepreneurs use this energy to strategize business growth, launch new products and services, and connect with potential investors, and to think outside of the box and take calculated long-term risks. Alternative healers should use this energy to learn new techniques and to conduct energy clearing sessions on their own energy in home and spaces and with their clients, and organise holistic wellness events and share your unique gifts with others, and to spread positivity, healthy positivity there, not toxic positivity, which is ignoring the negative. We have to embrace the negative and positive of life so we can keep in balance. Lovers should use this time to strengthen your emotional bond with your partner, express gratitude and plan romantic gestures, and use this time to connect with your partner or partners on a spiritual level, explore new activities together and create lasting memories that deepen your relationships. And for singles, take yourself on a solo adventure or date night, cook yourself a nice meal, watch one of your favourite shows or films, try out a new hobby that ignites your passion, reflect on your goals and set intentions for personal growth, and celebrate the unique individual that you are. Dive into activities that bring you joy, and whether it be exploring nature, reading a new book or learning a new skill. So yeah, just use this time to focus on self-love and personal development, knowing that the right connections will come at the right time. Trust in the universe timing and embrace this period of self-exploration with open arms. And self-partnered people can do the same as well. Connect with yourself, develop more self-love, practice mindfulness and honour your own needs and desires. Do the things that bring you joy and strengthen the relationship with yourself, and appreciate unique qualities and nurture your inner world. And remember that being self-partnered is a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Trust in your intuition and allow yourself to explore your deepest desires and shadow traits, and embrace the journey of getting to know yourself on a deeper level. So all in all, this full sturgeon moon just wants us to be open to ancient wisdom, looking into maybe things that people have told us in the past that we may have ignored, not think is good because we dislike them in some way, or they've hurt us and stuff. Just getting real about, sometimes it's about the message, not the messenger. It's just looking at the advice that you should have maybe have taken, or what you need to take to push yourself forward. Financially, wants us to invest in the things that are really good for us, and this is the time with our other resources. I said about our time and our energy management as well, to make the best use of this energy, give into the process, be open to developing a deeper connection with your inner self and loving your weaknesses and your shadow self, and learning to manage them on the more important level, just learning to understand yourself and channel into the potent energy of this full sturgeon moon, So yeah, I'm Amani, and if you like my content, please like it, subscribe and share. Thanks for your time and energy. Take care and see you next time.